Hi, welcome to the channel. I just wanted to come on and really just have a moment where I was discussing and just talking to you guys about where I am and what this channel is about for your ability to have like a better understanding. So, what is this channel about? Well, I'm Taj McCameron, and I want this channel to really be about my Christian entrepreneurship journey, right? I got saved fully in April 2014. In April 2014, I remember laying in my bed at the time and saying, I can't continue to go on like this. And a lot of people right now are in that same space. If you've noticed, even spiritually, a lot of people are in that space where they feel like they can't go on the way that they are going. That is actually a sign God's trying to get your attention, because that's exactly what He did to me when He started me through my journey. And I remember during that time, it's like I mentally and emotionally was like, I don't know if I can keep going like this. And in April, I gave my life to God of 2014. So in that process, I went the next year and I started a journey. Something simple. I would pray every morning. I started looking into godly related things, and during this time, his first year and a half, I began to like seek God deeper, and it was really a moment where I was dividing what was right, what was wrong, where I needed to be, what was wrong, what was right. I remember a couple years prior to that, I had bought a new Bible, and it was funny because I found that Bible that year. It was sitting on top of my storage container inside, and I started reading it around this time. Then I knew God was starting to change my life, because He started to change everything around me. The things that I was watching on social media started to change. He started to have me opening that Bible more. He started having me listening to the Word more. And then I started to notice, okay, what is it in my life that I need to get in the right order? I remember I had an encounter a couple years prior to that when I first bought that Bible. And I was sitting on a bench waiting for the bus, and this guy came and he sat next to me. He said, "Did you just come out of that church?" And I said, "No." And I remember a couple days later, I was on Facebook, and it was this weird, and I lie to you not, this is exactly how it happened. I was on Facebook, and I started seeing this pop-up coming up. It's like, if God called you, would you answer? Yes or no? And I was like, well, yeah. But I'm just saying that, you be just saying something. Come on. To my Christians out here, I'm a need for you. You don't be just saying that when you be saying that. You just made a commitment. And I'm serious. See that, Siren? Commitment. So, yeah. I thought I was just saying that. Took another 2 years. But here I was. Because he had to come after me. It took another 2 years for me to start to really pull away from my day-to-day quid pro quo everyday actions. Things not working right. Me searching for jobs, not working right. Things that I thought should have been coming together, not working right. And I'm sitting there like, I had to get to the point where I was at that rock bottom phase to say, God, okay, let's do this your way, because evidently you don't want me to get the job. Evidently you don't want me to go do this. Evidently you don't want me to do that. So He had me pull back. and start doing some other, looking into some stuff. I was looking into house flipping. I was looking into um, a lot of different things to that level and capacity. Uh, People were concerned about me at that particular point in time because of the fact of the matter that I spent more time in my room than I did doing anything else, and at the time that that the people around me had me go into this therapy thing, it was like, oh, this is what you're going to do. And see, this was my problem during that time in the season, that that's what they wanted from me, but I had to determine what God wanted from me. So as I started going through the process of determining what God wanted from me, I did go to this program that they had me go to, and I had the only reason I think God allowed me to go to that program is He wanted me to meet this woman who had this amazing testimony of how she survived having had a stroke, having gone through so many situations of poverty and abuse going through life. And I was like, my God. And after that, it wasn't too long after that period of time that I left that program, but during that time frame, I went to therapy for a period, and it taught me how to deal with my emotions, right? But God taught me after I left that certain actions and activities that I could take in order to balance my emotions. And that was getting up early in the morning, that was praying, that was standing, that was going through a process. During that time, I was learning about meditation, but I had to learn that meditation wasn't the sitting meditation that we learn meditation was, but as a Christian, it was meant to sit in the presence of the Lord, speaking to God and meditating on His Word. I had to learn the difference. And in that time frame, I began to learn who I was. I began to start walking around this reservoir that was nearby, because a lot of the people that I was associated with started to push me away. And I didn't understand that it was time for me to shift out of that season. And I knew it was time for me to shift out of that season, but I didn't quite understand. And your season will always tell you where you're going, even if you can't see it. Okay. So the season started to tell me this is the way that your life is shifting. Get prepared for your life to begin to shift in this direction. So it was certain warnings that I got, and then it was certain things that were preparing me to leave that situation. I left there for another year. I spent in my father's house. And after spending that year in my father's house, I went through a deeper revelation. The Lord had connected me to someone in this season that was a mentor to me. And even she ended up backing out of a situation that she was dealing with. So she stepped away from social media for a period of time. And there was a shift that went, and it's funny, when she shifted, I shifted a few days later. Because she left and went to another city, and I ended up leaving and going to another city right around that same time frame. So when that time frame happened, the Lord put me into a deep space where it was just me depending on Him. And for 4 years, He started processing me, pulling out of me certain things. He put me through experiences. And this is the warning that I have for you. If God needs to prune you, if He has you shift into a wilderness season, understand, number one, you ain't getting out that wilderness season until you surrender to Him everything He wants you to surrender. And the longer it takes for you to surrender, with each phase of that wilderness, the longer it will take for you to get out of each phase of it. So you better surrender and surrender quickly. Had learned this from my pastor too, because she used to say the same thing. She's like, I didn't want to stay in this season too long, because she went through her own dark season before she met her spouse. And she was like, what do I got to do? Now, the people that I used to have mentoring me these times, they would get through their seasons in like a 3-month interval here, 3-month interval here, 3-month interval here. And if I really think about it, the place that God had me in, he had me in the same building, but he would never let me stay in the same place within that building longer than about 3 months. And he kept shifting me around. I'd stay in this space for 3 months. 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 He kept me moving around like that. I think the shortest period of time I ever stayed in one space was about 6 weeks. Okay. And then he put me through a program that I literally met a guy, and his name, I lie to you not, was Moses. They called him Moses. And this person was a leader to me during that season that God had me in that dark season as well. Me and a Christian friend that he made, he brought me in that time. We walked through this season together. We were going through this experience, and it's funny because during one point in time when I was in one part of the city, he had this one person that was leading me throughout that season. When I was in the other part of the city, he had somebody else leading me. Because like I would be in Brooklyn and it would be this one person that was leading me. Then I went to Manhattan and me and the person in Brooklyn lost touch. But then when I went back and started hanging out more in Brooklyn, I ran back into the person that was leading me through that time, and that's when we ended up going to that program together. And I knew God led us to that program, and it was a lot of spiritual alignment and guidance and covering and so on and so forth, that I knew God was in that entire experience. No matter how dark it had gotten, I knew that he was lifting me up and he was leading prophetic witnesses to me during that season. And it was just, he was making sure my needs were provided. And I have a testimony of how during my final year in New York, he gave me a financial release into my life that covered me for up to $55,000. He sent somebody to witness to me, to show me what I needed to do, that I was covered for an entire year. He had a stipend released into my life for $5,000. So there was a release during that period of time. It took care of the needs, but he also was teaching me during that season how to manage money. He had me get a secure credit card. He had me just really concentrating on sowing, giving, tithing, financial alignment, taking care of myself, certain things during that season. But he also, as he gave me that stipend, he was teaching me, and he kept me in that place for that 4-year period because he was birthing out something in me that he wanted me to do, that when he brought me back to the city that was my hometown that I grew up in, that he started to cultivate within me another aspect, that he was preparing me for another season of my life. And even though I was back in a place that was familiar to me, I was not the same person. And he was cultivating me to begin to build. And within the first year or two of being back in this place, he started having me speak visually to people as well. And for the past 3 or so years, this is what I've been doing. encouraging, edifying, motivating, leading. He pulled me away for a 9-month period to cultivate within me what he needed to cultivate within me. But he's brought me back within the past 4 or so months and covered me in the blood of Jesus to really just lead me to really understand and gain wisdom in what he was calling me to do. And it's been a journey. And I don't take this journey lightly. He's grown me in prayer. He's grown me in consecration. He's grown me in leadership. He's grown me in understanding where he's trying to take me in my life. He's grown me. And I want to walk with some of you guys to help you understand that you might have started somewhere, but God's taking you somewhere. And in him taking you to that place, you're going to have bumps and valleys and issues. But know this, God has a place for you. And he's going to lead you and walk you through that experience. But in him leading you and walking you through that experience, he's going to heal you. He's going to bring you into right alignment. And through that experience, you're going to learn who you are, your identity, and where he's trying to take you. And all I want to do is show you the steps that I took, that while he's taking you through your steps, that maybe, just maybe, you won't have to go through everything that I went through, but you'll understand what your wilderness seasons are, when you're going through these wilderness seasons, how you're supposed to operate, how not to take so long being in these seasons, how to step through these experiences, how to get into these things that you're desiring to get into. And if you don't get into them, at least prepare yourself in purpose to be able to, at the very least, have done your works, because faith without works is dead. To prepare yourself to at least be, the only thing that you have left to do is stand still. Because the only thing God is saying to you, just stand still. I'm going to take care of the rest. If I can help you with that, that's why I'm here. So that's what this introductory video was about. So I hope this blessed you. Until next time, bye-bye.